beautiful Cancerian friends, and welcome to your horoscope for December of 2022. I can't even believe it. It's the end of the year, but guess what, friends? We made it. Whatever condition you are coming into December of 2022 with, I just want to give you some love and say congrats, welcome. I'm glad you're here and we made it. I also want to pique your attention immediately at the beginning of this video to a signature that we started out with in 2022, and that is your 7th house around really significant and important relationships, Cancer. Whether this is a work relationship, you know, I've been at this job for 20 years, or a romantic relationship. This is a partnership that's been a great focus in my life for a long time. You know, whatever it was in the space of relationships in your life, really significant relationships, you were re-looking at the value of these things. You were looking at, you know, do they still have value in your life, and really getting a different kind of structure around them and kind of finding out, you know, what you're willing to fight for in this area a little bit at the beginning of the year. Now, as we're here in December and coming back to Capricorn season, you're going to review this area. We're also going to have Mercury move into retrograde in this signature as well. So truly, you're looking at the progress that you've made since then, and then you're going to be looking at where you need to reconnect, re-edit, revise, go back over what you have really done good work on, and you're going to be making some decisions as we come through 2023 with everything that you've learned in these signature. It is a fantastic season to get organized, to set yourself up for long-term success. So I hope that you get excited to dig into what's going on in this relationship dynamic. All right, Cancer, let's get in here and see what is going on. At the beginning of the month, on the 3rd, we're going to see Neptune come direct at 22 degrees of Pisces. Okay, this lights up the 9th house space for you. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, international travel, things foreign, right? You think you're traveling overseas in some way, or legal things that are going on for you. Philosophy, faith. I can't say that enough. Faith falls under this particular category for you as well. You are really re-looking at this particular area in terms of what you believe, what has guided you. What do you call a higher power, a higher self? Something that guides and surrounds and protects you. You've really needed to look at this area. Now, as Neptune's direct, we have an idea, we have an ideal, we have a vision. It's like, yeah, whatever. It kind of walks between the worlds, and you create something that's not necessarily tangible, but you're willing to like travel forward with. As Neptune gets into its retrograde, it's concrete. You're no longer in the dance of the intangible. Like, what you have believed in has to be able to stick, because it's very concrete and it feels like there's no escape, right? So it's really this energy that is like, okay, what you had faith in, what you believed in, what you were doing, does it have enough power? Do you still believe in it, right? So these are some big concepts. Now, when we're talking about legal things, you're like, oh, it's all going to work out, or it's definitely going to be terrible, right? Like, it's either really good or really bad. And you find out, as Neptune's been in its retrograde since June, that it's like, well, no, wait a minute. This is actually going a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. You know, the whole of 2022, I think, really was a signature of like, whatever you think it's going to be, it's probably going to be different. And Neptune is no exception. So as Neptune is direct now, from what you've been able to see, like, you know, from your belief structure to your education to that legal thing, could you stand on the vision? And if not, it needed to be reworked. You have likely redone that. And now you can reshape a vision that you feel like, I have faith in this, I can trust this, I believe in this going forward. And you're creating that in your 9th house area in the ways that you expand out into the world. On the 6th, we see Mercury coming into the energy of Capricorn, bringing our attention into the relationship zone. And when I say relationships in the 7th house, I genuinely mean it. It's conscious, chosen one-on-one relationships. It can be romantic. It can be business. It can be where you're collaborating with someone. It can be with yourself, right? The relationship of you with you. How are you guys doing? Are you treating your body like a partner or a slave? What is the relationship dynamic that you have with yourself, your mind, right? Do you accept yourself? Do you have some grace? What about powerful commitments or connections that are being made for you at this time? Mercury is really bringing your focus in. You're getting organized, you're getting ready, you're looking at commitment, you're looking at self-discipline and what needs to happen here for you to have long-term success. When we get to the 12th, Mercury is going to enter into its pre-retrograde shadow time at 8 degrees of Capricorn. This means it's slowing down, and it's going to say between 8 degrees of Capricorn and 24 degrees of Capricorn, here's where we're going to restructure. This is exactly what we need to review. So pay attention to what's coming up for you around the 12th, because when Mercury goes retrograde on the 29th and comes out on the 18th of January, this will be what you have reflected on for sure, made decisions, made some changes, had some conversations, or maybe even reunion and reunited with the information happening in that relationship zone, okay? When we get to the 7th, we're going to have a full moon at 16 degrees of Gemini. Now, this is in the 12th house space, the hidden, quiet space for you. So it's lighting up things that have been going on behind the scenes. It's also going to, in a square to Neptune with Mars retrograde in Gemini, if you've had things going on behind the scenes, an immune system issue, are you working with depression, addiction, spiritual things, your dreams, all of these things get lit up at this time, and this full moon is saying you got to end that. You got to bring it to a culmination, finalize what's going on here, or allow it to be a turning point. Do you need to talk about Gemini? Do you need to talk about Mars retrograde in Gemini? Talking is a strategy. What do you need to talk about that's been going on behind the scenes, that you've been afraid of, that you've been creating, that is coming alive in your spiritual life, and you feel like I need to talk it out, I need to share in order to get the clarity and the relief and the reciprocal knowledge that reaches in between the worlds and allows me to bring something to transition. This is Gemini energy. Is someone leaving your network? They've been in your network for a very long time. Is there a conversation or a daily routine that is changing for you, and it's just not going to be a part of life going forward, especially when we get to March of 2023? What is it that you need to talk through to review so that you have clarity? On the 9th, we see Venus move into the energy of Capricorn, and Venus works as an attracting energy. So we're not pushing, forcing, we're letting it come in. So in the area of relationship, Venus is Venus. Venus likes money, she likes relationships, right? So you could be calling in or attracting a really important relationship into your life. Or I also think that during the Mercury retrograde at the end of the month, if there is an important relationship in your life that is maybe leaving or changing in nature, Venus will help soften the blow a little bit. But more than anything, I think, bringing some harmony, bringing a little bit of salve, bringing a little bit of diplomacy and acceptance as you deal in your relationships, including your relationship to money, because you're like, I want this in my life long term. I want to achieve in these particular areas. So Venus is attracting in some good vibes to help you there. On the 20th, we see Jupiter move back into the energy of Aries. We saw it move into Aries in May, and this started to expand things in the career zone for you. So career, soul level calling, your reputation in public, a change of status of what we call you. Were you single, now you're married, you didn't have any kids, now you have kids, you had kids, now you're an empty nester, like whatever it is, I worked and now I'm retired. Your status change has happened here. And what I can tell you with Jupiter here in Aries now is, first of all, it lights up opportunities around your career. It lights up opportunities around a status change for you. Are you getting married? Are you getting divorced? Are you taking that new position? Whatever it is, though, I would tell you to the best of your ability, really go confidently in the direction of what you want and what you're willing to fight for. What are you willing to take on and champion into your own life? What's this next identity for you? And it may be unrecognizable to the one that you had 12 years ago. Now, in a really negative sense, what can happen is you can bear down and you're the only right one. There's only one right way. It's a very me kind of attitude that is not serving. It's not serving. It's serving you, right? So we have to look at the full evolution, the shadow and the light of what Aries characteristics have to offer to see if Jupiter is expanding you in a way that it's going to be beneficial for you. As we get to the 21st, happy solstice, whether it's winter or summer for you. Happy solstice. We've got a change of season on the table for all of us, which is a great time to Capricorn. We're going to get organized so that we can have long-term success in your relationships. What are you committing to for long-term success? Are you bringing a significant teacher in your life? Are you leaving a significant work situation, but it's setting you up for long-term success? Now, whatever it is that you do want for your new year, on the 23rd, we've got a new moon happening at 1 degree of Capricorn, where you can plant your seeds of intention to begin something new here. Now, this moon is going to square that Jupiter in Aries, so I will tell you whatever it is that you do want to get organized around. Whatever it is that you're thinking, yes, I'm willing to take this on. It's going to change the level of my maturity, right? In Capricorn, we change the level of our maturity. It takes some self-discipline to be in this area. Square this Jupiter in Aries, don't take on too much, because it's like, yeah, new year, new me. And then you take on so much that you can't actually process it. This is still an earth sign. So yes, it's a cardinal earth sign. So we're going to begin steady things for long-term success, but it's not necessarily, you know, moving very quickly. So you don't want to take on more than your earth and material hands can actually handle, right? You spiritually want to live your best life, but physically you have to be able to deliver as well. So just be mindful, okay? Now, as we're going to close out this month, this year, we see Mercury stepping into that retrograde at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So all of these things in this 7th house arena, all of the relationship dynamics, you're going under review, rethink, revise, re-edit, reconnect. You're going to regather information, but certainly you're going to recommunicate and make some decisions by the time we come to January 18th of 2023, and the full retrograde cycle ends on February 7th of 2023. So by that time, I think you've got some different decisions, some different conversations, some different information in place that can help you succeed in this relationship area. And that includes, if you've got to do just practical Capricorn things like paperwork, you maybe are filing documents or things like that, you know, registering that birth certificate, that marriage certificate, that divorce, right? Whatever it is, you're definitely going to have some answers and some change of direction as we get to February. My beautiful Cancers, I love you wherever you are in the world, from Africa to the United States to Italy, where I see that all of Cancers are watching from all over the world. I see you guys in my demographics. I love you. I'm sending you a lot of good vibes, and I'll see you in 2023. Bye.